Can military necessity justify the forced displacement of civilians? In today's world, the question of military necessity and civilian displacement is more relevant than ever. Recent conflicts have sparked discussions about the legality and morality of forced displacement. As tensions rise globally, many are searching for clarity on this pressing issue. Under international humanitarian law, including the Geneva Conventions and the laws of armed conflict, protecting civilians is a fundamental principle. Forced displacement is generally prohibited unless absolutely required by military reasons. However, even when military necessity is cited, strict conditions must be met. The Fourth Geneva Convention specifically addresses civilian treatment during war. It prohibits forced transfers or deportations from occupied territories unless necessary for civilian security or military reasons. Even then, such measures must be temporary. Displaced individuals must be treated humanely and protected from violence and intimidation. The principle of distinction requires parties in conflict to always differentiate between civilians and combatants. Indiscriminate displacement or collective punishment is not allowed. Any displacement must be proportional to the military advantage sought and must avoid unnecessary suffering for civilians. Recent conflicts illustrate the severe consequences of forced displacement. The ongoing war in Ukraine has led to the forced displacement of millions. This has been widely condemned as unlawful and not justified by military necessity. Reports from Gaza also highlight repeated forced displacement amid military operations. International organizations argue these actions violate humanitarian law and human rights obligations. International bodies and non-governmental organizations emphasize that military necessity cannot override civilians' fundamental rights. States and parties in conflict are urged to avoid forced displacement except in exceptional cases strictly justified by immediate military needs. Compliance with international law is essential, including facilitating humanitarian aid and ensuring accountability for violations. While international humanitarian law permits limited forced displacement under strict conditions, such actions are heavily regulated. They are often contested due to their severe impact on civilian populations. Protecting civilians remains a core obligation that cannot be easily dismissed in the name of military objectives.